later in the podcast, we have a segment where fans of this podcast submit questions, and I got many about Moment 37. How
Oh
did you
boy.
feel during it, looking back on it now, and so on. But I also got a lot of people saying, don't ask him about that, let it die. My question to you is, are you sick of hearing about this?
I mean, I feel like it's something where I don't really care about it. Like it's a great moment. Like I'm like it's
Yep.
amazing. But even now, if you see like social media, I have fun with it. I actually
Hmm.
have fun when yeah, I'll even like quote retweet something about it. Like just today, like there was this somebody randomly tagged me about this video, and you see Ken parrying Chun-Li super in the corner, and then Chun-Li was able to super jump out after the parried up kick. So I retweeted, I quote retweeted, and I said I could have prevented history. What the fuck is this? Just in a joking manner. And then, so stuff like that, I joke about it all the time. And it doesn't really bother me. Like I don't take it as personal compared to like possibly like other people that's sick of hearing, stuff like that. But it's just more of like it's an amazing thing because there's so many times where people would mention that and talk about this is the reason why I got into fighting games. And I mean, I'll gladly take the L if this is the reason that you got into fighting games, because personally, the more people that play fighting games, the better. And I'd rather have like more people just enjoy fighting games because personally, I don't see myself like ever stopping playing fighting games. I feel like 30 years from now, I'll still be enjoying playing fighting games.
You
Even
know,
though if I'll probably suck at it, hands can't work, but everything, but I'll still have major fun because I don't know, I can't find the love from any other genre as much as the fighting game. Like it's just too freaking good to play.
yeah. So one of the things that I'll make a comment and then I'll ask a question that's probably not asked very much about that. One is like it was amazing for you to be in that match in 2004 with that tournament with the Japanese contingent that it was there with who you already beat in that tournament and that there was Daigo and KO left. The fact that you were even playing there was a huge win. Like I'm pretty sure you didn't expect to have gotten that far. And because like you were a Marvel player, right? And so everybody's like, ah, like you got owned or whatever. No, back then, like any win against any Japanese players was huge, really big deal. Um, so my question is about that moment is that when people look at that moment, what is like what is the wrong lesson that they get? Like when it comes to like playing third strike, what is the most common bad take from there?
One that's also another thing where you mentioned that people looked at me as a Marvel player. See, that's why I'm telling you. That's the reason why I went hard in these games because people call me a Marvel scrub. Only know how to play Marvel. So that's why I went like extra hard like during those years. And that's also the same time frame where Eddie Lee was my training partner. So
Hmm.
we would play like high level third strike or high level any fighting game all the time because he was that person to just really push me and make me understand like fundamentals and everything. But I would say a lot of people they look at that moment as the glorious moment, and it is a glorious moment. But like you said, like it's one of those things where there was a lot of Japanese players in that tournament, and I would say as one of like the the only Americans left starting like in that bracket where I had to defeat Kokujin and then I had to defeat Rao who just won SPO like the week before. Like I felt like it was just one of those things that it gave hope to like third strike players. Obviously it brought new players because of the moment, but I think it also gave hope that damn, we can beat Japanese players. We don't have to we like you know what I mean like America's a lot of times Americans back in the day even now was like, oh, he's from Japan, he's too good, I can't beat them. Like that mindset is was there. And I think during that time frame when I was playing third strike and beating like multiple Japanese players, it probably gave more confidence to other American players to step their game up as well, to just kind of stop forget about this West Coast East Coast rivalry and think about USA versus Japan.
Yeah, that was always really cool. I mean, and even after that though, there was always like, lower tier players all of a sudden would look at that and they would only see the parry, and they wouldn't see why the parry was necessary. And I had this guy who was just like, yeah, I can parry Chun-Li super, and I was like, yeah, but like 99.9% of the time you don't need to. Like, just block it and you're fine. But like, you have to realize that in that moment he had to. And so that's the wrong lesson. It's not that you can or you should focus on training that, because it's like, look, if there's not a chip situation and I don't F up, you're never going to parry that thing. But like, yeah, so that's the kind of lesson that a lot of people get out of that. But it was really kind of hype, and I'm not so into Third Strike anymore, but it did cause me to play Third Strike for several years, so that was fun.